Hello, people of the internet, and people who have no idea what the fridge that intro is. So, I have been wanting to do a tutorial or something for a while now to try to help out more people, and I had no idea how to go about it at first, in a sense. I don't know, part of me doesn't feel like I'm that qualified on giving advice and stuff, but then again, I do have some stuff that'll probably help out some people. So, yeah, I've kind of put this together. And there's a freaking door. So yeah, let me just tell you what has So let me just tell you what has helped me the most through my whole artistic disaster that is my life. So, the one thing, there's one thing mainly that you should take away from this. Everything is built out of little smaller shapes. And to be honest, it's kind of easy. I mean, you could just go and search whatever the fridge. Let's say you want to draw a ferret. Boom. Bunch of ferrets. Reference pictures. Use them. But I already searched up a freaking lot of pictures of dogs, so we're going to use those instead. So, yeah, everything is made out of shapes. Let's just bring in our little husky friend here. Bork. But, yeah, there are shapes in this. Like, see, you got a head. I've noticed that everything tends to start out with a circle, like that one. Let me just line that up a bit for you. And it doesn't even have to be a good circle either. Like, as long as it's kind of round, then it works. I mean, you might want to have a little bit on the side. It just if it looks alright, then yeah, it's alright. But, yeah. And then we'd also have the muzzle here. The structure is obviously different for every animal, but if you can kind of train your eye to point out the structure of everything, then boom, you are all set. I mean, your stuff won't look that great at first, but whose stuff does? But yeah, there's the Doge nose. Actually, hold on, it'd probably be a bit more. Yeah. Yeah. And to be honest, even whenever I was starting out with dogs, or anything like a dog, I had a whole lot of trouble because, well, actually, not. I had trouble because obviously I wasn't used to drawing dogs. I was more used to drawing humans. A lot more used to drawing humans, but guess what? If I just took a bunch of reference pictures and point out the same shapes, then boom. See, we got some ears here. That's an ear. That's an ear. Huh. More ears. And we also have a body. Generally, the bodies, I normally go for circles. Boop. And boop. That ain't important. We're focusing right here because, yeah, why not? But these can be found in a bunch of dogs, and even in different angles. You have to think of these not as like flat, weird shapes, but as more 3D. I mean, it was kind of hard for me to get used to doing this, but I eventually got the hang of it. And if a 14-year-old can get the hang of this before having to do a bunch of geometry crap for high school, then I bet that you can do it too. Just takes a lot of practice, I guess. You can see, there's our little muzzle right there. Now that'd be more of a blocked out shape. And then, hey, there's some more. Reference pictures are what will really save your life. And here's the cut off ear. Here's another cut off ear. We got a little circle. Or maybe that one's more of an oval. Yeah, it'd be more of an oval if you turned it around. Then turn it to the side a bit. And then there, we also have some circles here for the legs. And yeah, that's another wolf. Wait, not wolf. Husky. You know what the fridge of me is. I hate when my pen keeps doing that. It's just been some weird stuff lately. But, you know, let's bring in another little example. A tiny little Papa Doge. Hi, Papa Doge. I don't know. But yeah, same thing here. Even whenever it's a slightly different face structure, you can still pinpoint the main shapes. We have our circle that ain't that circly, but it'll be alright, we'll live. And then we have this little shape. And then there's like this here. It's kind of hard for me to get the bottom jaw sometimes. That's why I feel like I'm not that qualified to do this, but I still feel like I could help. And whoop-de-doop, there's a little tongue. We don't need to outline that, but why not? And then we also got a little Doge body. Tiny fluffer. And I believe we see part of what would it even be called on a dog? What is so we called an elbow? And like the elbows are sort of put back a bit because it's hiding under all that fluff and stuff. But blurb, and then back there you can see another circle. Oh, and also the ears. They're a bit more rounded on tiny Doges, I guess. Also, doesn't it looks a bit like a bear almost. Like, let me just yeah, I can see it looking like a bear kind of. But yeah, same in general structure. You just gotta train yourself to pinpoint it out. And you see, this doesn't only just work for dogs. I've done it and seen it work for cats, for humans, for whatever the fridge you'd call this thing, and even for buildings. Fridge, cat, get out of the way, please. But yeah, there's structures in pretty much anything. And so, main advice, reference pictures, use them. Try to find similar shapes and try to block them out. Yeah, I suck at explaining things, but I hope you see what I'm getting. Why don't we just go to a little drawing I did earlier? Well, it wasn't today, but I did it yesterday and recorded it, working on the sketch for a friend. So yeah, let me just try to show you what I mean over there. Okay, so I was making this sketch as a request for a friend and a couple days ago, and well, it's supposed to be an anthropomorphic sylveon, basically what I'm drawing here. And I kind of took together some pieces from both how I normally draw humans and well, from my observation, as well looking at a bunch of reference pictures on sylveons. You can see in the corner I made a little not so much chart guide for like how I see the shapes. Like you have a circular head, though you can see that it's a bit squarish on the sides, so it's kind of a bit square on the cheeks, kind of a square cool, I don't know. And you can see there's a sort of shape that I did for the ears too. I kind of didn't follow it that much, but I was kind of just eyeballing it. And I used the shape for the chest, and I used circles for the elbows and arms and stuff. Jeez, you can hear the dogs roughhousing in the background. Okay, cool. But I basically used this along with looking at that, which I made forever ago. Oh, and I use that as a sort of reference guide, and I also use guidelines for this. I mean, I sort of touch upon this in a bit during the end of the video, but I didn't go that much into it. But basically, guidelines that like that. Your goal is to try to use them to help keep track of like the tilt of the face, like where the eyes would go, where the center of the face is. It really helps out with this. Again, it takes a lot of practice. Hopefully, whenever I do more tutorials like humans and stuff, I'll go more in depth into that. And you know what? How about whenever, geez, dogs, how about how I make a little playlist full of tutorials that I make I'll put it in the description of this video actually, and you could watch that, I guess. Maybe whenever you see this, I'll have more stuff that's more, you know, done. Jeez, I'm awful at voiceovers. Last time I did one was forever ago. But yeah, main point is build on whatever you're drawing using these shapes. Try to plan it out before you go into it. That'll help you a ton. And then you might get something that looks like what you were going for. Boom. I'm not completely sure what else to say here, so you know what? Let's go back to the outro video. Whatever. So I hope that this is a decent enough starting point. I mean, there's a ton more to cover. But this is a great way to start building off. It's from building, not exactly building, but like piecing together things from shapes. That is what really helped me whenever learning to draw new things. It's what helped me to improve when drawing people. It's what helped me to improve when I first started trying to draw dogs or cats or whatever the fridge. I mean, it hasn't really helped me much with drawing buildings, or at least buildings like that in the back there. I mean, what I usually do for buildings is like a rectangle. Yeah, is a shape. Like, boom, shape. And then just stick a weird looking roof on top. Okay, fridge, no. But you know what I mean, I think. Sorry, I have buildings on the brain since I believe it was yesterday or the day before that a friend of mine was having trouble with buildings. Kind of was hoping this would help him somehow, but yeah. There's a lot more for me to cover, and guess what? I'll cover more probably. I'll try to at least. If you want, I could go into the not basics, but you know what I mean. More in depth what? In depth about how I draw humans and stuff like that, like the sort of shapes I use, what's kind of helped me, and you can try to learn from that. All these guidelines and like guidelines and all the shapes, that will help you out so much, and it'll help even more if you start doing guidelines too, like boom, guidelines, woo, dojnos, guidelines, boom. But yeah, just adding this much structure, it may seem like a lot of work, but it will help you out so much in the long run. And I'll try to teach you more, and if you have anything specific you want me to try to teach you from my perspective and my crappy talking abilities, then yeah, let me know. See you whenever.